approximately 3 decades ago. I had an opportunity to continue to live my passion, which is trekking and hiking. And at this time, they asked me if I would like to do the Himalayas. I says, whoa, absolutely. I'd sell my soul to go do a trek up in that part of the world. But very soon in our trek, something started to look a little stranger than other experiences that I've had. And I've had many all over the world on mountains doing my hikes. And somebody said to me, this is Tibet. And I said, Tibet? I was educated a little bit about what Tibet was, and etc. What we experienced was inhumane. We actually saw some very difficult scenarios where people were being treated like slaves. The overall walk to Dharamsala, which is the capital city of Tibet, where all of the religious monuments and places are, took probably 12 days or 11 days, something like that. My truly most meaningful experience happened in Dharamsala. Back up a little bit. When I was telling the people that I knew that I was going to go to Tibet, everybody said, don't get caught with a picture of the Dalai Lama because they'll put you in jail. That started to create the questions inside of me. What the hell is this? And my research led me to understand a lot better what Tibet was and what was going on there. And the other thing that somebody said to me is that if you bring pictures of Dalai Lama and they find you, they'll probably put you in jail. When you say that to me, it created this kind of interest. Did a little bit of research, and yes, I put a bunch of pictures on my pouch that I had with me of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So we did this trek. We saw atrocities. We saw truly inhumane treatment of people, and this is in the public, in squares, and the way they were kicking them around, beating them up, and etc. And it was something that really shook me to it. This is happening in the world and nobody knows, and that kind of issue started to create some anxiety on me, because we're now in an environment which is very strange and certainly very different than the one I lived in. So we got to Dharamsala, and we were in the Tsuglagkhang Monastery, which is the holiest place of Tibetan Buddhism. And we were there, I was there with 2 other members of our group of 10 or 12, and we were looking at the paintings and the reproductions on the walls, and I felt something being placed in my hands. And I looked, and there was a piece of paper, and a young man was cowering in front of me. The fear was, now at this point, I had a strong feeling of what was going on. I'd been there long enough so that I knew that probably it was something about the Chinese. And so he gave me this note, and he was he was just trembling. And I remember that in my case, I had pictures of the Dalai Lama. This is a moment of my life that is not only very emotional, it'll never leave me. I very properly and secretly pulled out a picture of the Dalai Lama, and I was presenting it to this young man, and something happened. a light started to shine all over him. His face just went as if somebody had put candles on it. He took that, he put it into his pocket, and wow, he went. That's the first real contact that I had with the Tibetan community. And yes, I took a chance. My friends afterwards, or colleagues afterwards told me, if the Chinese had seen you, you'd be dead now. And I don't disagree with them. But what I, in effect, did with this act of giving this young man a picture of the Dalai Lama is telling him, you found the right guy to make sure that your message gets across. And that's the day I became a dedicated, full-time proponent, exponent of China's treatment of people in Tibet, but also that led to China's treatment of people wherever the heck they went. Of course, I met His Holiness on a number of occasions, but the first time I met him, I truly felt I was in a room with someone that was not human. There was some presence, some atmosphere that in the Catholic religion we would refer to as, you know, the saints live here, not the humans. The man is undoubtedly the most honest, committed man. Even as we speak, he will not, other than criticize the Chinese, he will not recommend any of the kinds of actions that I have taken or will continue to take to teach them something. And I don't mean illegal, but if I have a hammer and there is, the Chinese Prime Minister, I'll hit him on the head. The Dalai Lama would criticize me for that. He exudes integrity, honesty. He has this saintliness about it, from a Catholic standpoint, that is real. There is no, even with the Chinese, and as I said before, even with the Chinese, he finds it difficult. He criticizes them, but he never criticizes them in a sort of a way that should be done to reflect what they're doing, not just to that country, what they've done to that country, other countries, and the rest of the world. My relationship with him is, I'm so lucky. He calls me his friend, and I've met him many times and continue to. There are instances of how he reacts when he meets somebody, how the people react when they meet him, that are nearly undescribable, because it's not something that you would normally see. I think he's, in reality, truly, the picture that has been painted of him and his being is something which is, and I say I can't believe he comes from this earth.